Hello, Marc Lowe here in Tokyo. We're now approaching the end of yet another year, and I've been compiling a number of things. I came to this realization when I did this Chattering Man talk that it was 10 years since the publication of the Chattering LP, and that also marked the beginning of my musical activities in Japan. And it was really the beginning of my becoming singer-songwriter and then later making my own music and all of that. So it's kind of a major milestone, 10 years, 2024. And now we're moving into 2025. So I thought this was a good time to kind of recount, and see what I had. And apart from the Chattering Man stuff, I started doing a cappella demos in 2014, as I said in that talk. And between 2014 and 2016, 2014, 2015 were a cappella, and then 2015 I got my first guitar, Yamaha acoustic, and I started writing songs on the guitar. The first song I wrote was called More, and the second was Want, and the second song in particular I still perform a lot in different arrangements. I have been cleaning and organizing, and I've been doing for some time. I moved out and moved back into this place, and I came across a CD of demos, early demos. Actually, some were on my hard drive, and then I came across a CD of the a cappella demos. And I had a compilation called Grab the Horn. I think it's something like 14 tracks originally, and they're all demos, old demos in GarageBand of me playing the Yamaha acoustic and singing. With the backing is just like mostly just drums from GarageBand drums. And it's curious to listen to it because it brought back firstly memories, and secondly it was like, a lot of these songs I still perform in some way or another arrangement. Want I mentioned already, but there are lots of them. The Day I Cried, which I did in my band Glass Gecko. Phantom, of course from Chattering Man, which was actually a cappella originally. But that's not on this particular compilation. But lots of songs actually I'm playing. Behind me now is Bird, right? Bird was another one. Black Nail, the original demo I found in GarageBand with... was my first attempt at Stavid Electronica without having even a keyboard and before Logic. So what I did was I compiled, or rather I took the files and I put them into Logic and I mastered them up a bit. I sort of raised the levels and got them sounding a little bit better. They don't sound fantastic. I mean, they're early demos in GarageBand. Some of the things with the mix I couldn't change. I don't have the original files either. But I got them sounding better and boosted the sound. And then I thought, well, why don't I find equivalents to the songs that were recorded in different versions? So I did, and I created this compilation called Release the Catch, because it was Grab the Horn, Release the Catch. That's what I came up with. Grab the Horn, ironically, is the one demo that I never did a re-recording of. We performed it in Glass Gecko in an arrangement that the guitarist had made for the band, but after that I never played it again. And if you listen to it, you might know why, because it's kind of like stupidly naive lyrics about singing in my own band and this kind of thing. And after the band, I never had a band again. This is Black Nail behind me, 2021 version. So I ended up with these two things, right? These mirror compilations. I got the early demos, the original demos of songs like Black Nail, songs like Grab the Horn, which again, I don't have a re-recorded version for it, and other things. And so if you think about it, or I thought about it, right, if the first a cappella demo was from 2014, and it's now 2024, the end of, that's 10 years, just like with Chattering Man. So it's spanning 10 years. Now, the first compilation I did of the companion tracks, I'll turn that down just a little bit. It's not loud, but that's minimum. Okay. The first version I did, I put on Bandcamp, and I wrote an essay. Actually, it wasn't meant to be an essay, but it ended up being kind of long, talking about the tracks. Now, this version's a bit different. This is Black Nail 2021 Redux, for example. The other compilation has the instrumental version from 2021. I made changes to the YouTube version. The Bandcamp version also has some versions of songs performed as recent as this year or last. Some of them are live in my room or live there's a live version of Bird at Borders from earlier this year, for example. But on the YouTube version, I used a recording from 2017. The YouTube version favors earlier versions and mixes overall. And I also used alternative mixes, like Chaos is a piano arrangement, which is quite rare. I recorded it in 2018, and I never performed it that way or recorded it that way again. I've done electronica versions, but never just piano arrangement, piano voice. One Touch is also in a piano arrangement. It's another song I normally perform on the acoustic or the classical acoustic, and the Bandcamp version has it was a version I performed here in my room on the classical guitar this year. So this is the piano version from 2018. Things like this. Fragile Reptile, I had used last year's Reconstruction mix on the Bandcamp version, and here I found the mix from 2020 that was kind of interesting, and the Reconstruction mix sort of based on something similar, but it's different. The mix is different, and it's interesting, I thought. So this is what I'm presenting here. To talk about the demos, very, very simple. Just lay down drum tracks using the GarageBand sort of drums that play themselves without tweaking them too much at that time. And I just played, like with a click, the acoustic, or some of it has electric guitar sound or flange or some effects that I put in via GarageBand, and just singing. It's really just singer-songwriter material. I think that's kind of interesting as a contrast to the kind of music I'm doing these days. I still do acoustic songs, and some of them are a lot of them are the older songs, some on this compilation, and some newer things. But I do a lot of improv, and my playing style is a lot looser now, and I do neck tapping and hitting the body, and I improvise a lot more. It's not playing with a click, and it's not playing with a pick like this. And a lot of these songs on the demos especially are rather, they're use a click in the drums. And what I like about them, of course, they're very simple, and of course the sound quality is not as, the arrangements are not nearly as complex as they became. That's what the second compilation is for, to compare, and also in different versions and from different times. But this is Boxman from live in studio 2021 during COVID with a drum machine. Purposely, I went back to using that. Of course, this year I re-recorded Boxman. So a lot of these songs I've redone as recently as 2024. But what I liked about the demos was the pure passion of them, and I could hear it in my voice. And I sound quite young. I was in my early 40s, but it's like I just listened to it, and I can just feel like that I just wanted to make music so badly. It's like everything. It still is, in a different way. It's what I live for, and it was then, but it was just starting off. It was like, a lot of high tone, screaming, and not that I'm screaming all the time, but like I'm thinking of the end of Want, She Will Not Be Mine, and a very high tone, and it's very emotional, and even the quieter songs just have a lot of emotion in the voice. Not that they don't afterwards, but they have that sort of innocent first version sound and feel, and I sound like I'm 20 something or 30 something maybe. So it's interesting, and there are some of the arrangements are a lot more rock. Well, Grab the Horn has kind of power chords, and Fragile Reptile in both versions has the power chords and the rock sound, but The original version in particular just sounds like a rock song almost. You know, it's real straightforward, power chords, electric guitar sound. So 10 years and singer-songwriter style, mostly guitar, but again I favored some of the piano versions on the companion just to have a contrast. So that's 10 minutes. I wanted a 10-minute introduction. Again, if you go to Bandcamp, there's a different version, and I wrote a kind of essay about it, more details. So you might want to compare the two if you're interested, but either way. One last thing I didn't mention, I'll mention quickly. At the very end of the demos part of this, because I split this into two, the demos and then the later re-recorded Logic versions. The very final track is what I call the Dreambox EP, and that was absolutely my first attempt at doing like a soundscape-ish, soundtrack-ish type thing. It's 30 minutes, just short of, you know, and it starts with these kind of drums and atmospherics, instrumental, and then there are bits of songs, bits of me singing, bits of guitar sound, and then there's a rearranged version of Forest, which was What Had You Done, which the demo, actually the last demo before the final track is What Had You Done, or Forest, and it's with Ryuji Nakamura playing acoustic and me singing in my bedroom at the time. It was the demo we had just done for the first time, and on the demo for Dreambox, toward the end of that I do, or maybe the middle toward the end, I do a version which is like electronic, atmospheric, you know, all presets. I had no keyboard, it was just GarageBand, and I'm just singing freely on top of it, and then the drums come in, the same melody but not playing on the guitar. So things like this are very interesting to hear it now, what I was experimenting, thinking, and then it closes with people, acoustic with drums, but it's a kind of bricolage soundscape, you know, something I would have done maybe in 2023 or 2022 or 2024, except now of course I do it in Logic and it's a lot more complex. But it's interesting because listening to it now I can say, I can hear what I was going for, you know, and that I just didn't have the technique to do it. I wasn't proficient in Logic and so on. So this is for the, you know, for the people who are interested in process, or to hear, to compare things that people have maybe listened to on YouTube or Apple Music or somewhere, and say, well, these are my humble beginnings 10 years ago. That's what this is about. And this is Chaos Acoustic, or Chaos Piano behind me. It sounds totally like a different song almost. So I hope you enjoy this. I have a lot more. I have a 3-part, quite extensive, or quite comprehensive This Dark Shroud, 3 parts, 3-phase compilation. I split it into 3. The first part is Origins, 2017-2018, the first year and a half where I was doing solo This Dark Shroud, and then a lot of unpublished stuff that I added to that. The second part is 2019 with Joe Shotaro on bass, the duo version. It's all studio material. That's 20 tracks. The first part's 30 tracks now. And the last part is 40 tracks, and that's, I called it Rebirth, and that's a 2023 through this year, 2024's This Dark Shroud, again, solo project. So that's coming. I want to do talks on that. New Marc, Lowe, Sunny Yasuda will be published on the 1st of January, 1st of New Year. What the Angels Saw will be published on Apple Music and so on. That's going up. And so I want to do a talk on my collaborations, plural, with Sunny, including the ones we did during COVID 2019-2020, after I moved to Tokyo, and some of the stuff we recorded even prior to that, when I was still in Fukuoka. I want to talk about collaboration, so I want to talk about more detail, my collaboration with Joe and This Dark Shroud, my collaboration with Sunny, the This Dark Shroud 3-part series. Then there's this, Release the Cash, the Cash, the Catch, the Cash. There are different ways you could think about this title. There's no cache being released, believe me. There's no C-A-S-H. This is the cache, C-A-C-H-E perhaps, and it's a catch, you know? So, thank you. I also am considering doing other talks on sort of just bringing back things that may have fallen through the cracks. There's a lot of material from the past that I'd like to maybe talk about the evolution of Black Nail, for example. I'm going to do a talk with music and present different versions and things. Lots of ideas. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to sign off for now and present these Release the Catch parts 1 and 2. Like I say, one is a compilation 2018 through roughly 2020 for YouTube, and the other is the demos from 2014 through 16, and there are a few a cappella pieces in there. Most of them have guitar in them, or just electronica, which is just to say presets of me singing on top like Black Nail or Shattered Man, the original version. So until the next, and I will do a talk for New Year's Eve, because I plan to be here alone again this year for the 5th time in a row. So I'll do a talk then. And my apartment, I've really cleaned and decorated a bit. I've got a hat rack, and I've got the masks up, and I've got some earlier covers and things, This Dark Shroud and some other stuff too. So signing off for now. I'll be speaking with everyone again soon, believe me. Thanks, and happy New Year. See you soon.